Hi everyone, welcome to this online broadcast for how to transfer to SIUE. I hope you guys find this really informative, but my name is Myra Kaufman and I'm an admission counselor for SIUE. A little bit about me. I graduated from SIUE in May 2015 with my bachelor's degree, and I'm about 4 classes away from a master's degree, so I'm really excited about that. But throughout this presentation, you're going to learn about how to transfer to SIUE, some of the admission requirements that we have in place, some housing options for you, some scholarship options, and different things like that that's going to really help you transition to SIUE a little bit smoother. So I'm going to go through a few screens with you just to kind of show you how to work our website, because the website is going to be one of your best tools to use when you're transferring. And also in the group chat, I'm going to post so that you can get on and kind of find the pages that I'm going to so that you can do this on your own later. So I'm going to screen share a thing, and please bear with me if I don't get it the fastest. Our SIUE website. Now, the first thing that I'm going to talk to you about is how to apply to SIUE, and this is probably going to be one of the easiest college applications you've ever, because SIUE does not require any sort of essay or resume for general admission. So what you're going to do is you're going to put in your name first and last, usually last and first. I'll go ahead and put mine in. And then your email address. And you'll hit Start New Application. Now, if you're filling out an application for a second time, like you've already done an SIUE application, you still have to do this Start New Application unless you're picking up where you left off, but typically students will start a brand new application. And you'll go ahead and put in some information. You can put any kind of username you want to in. I like to put a combination of my first and last name, and then a password. Now, if you're re-logging in, so like I said before, you've done an application before, you can use that login information again once you're on here. But if you're creating a new account for the first time, you'll want to go to First Time User Account Creation. If for some reason you create an account and you forget your login information, we cannot retrieve that for you. So just make sure that you're writing down your login ID and PIN every time you do it. So you'll want to create a login, and it can be anything that you really want it to be. Make sure you follow the guidelines. Oh, I've already done it on this. Myra SIUE. And here you are. So you're on your application. You want to go ahead and select your application type. Now, typically transfer students will have a domestic. They'll be seeking an undergraduate degree, and they can be any of these kinds of options. So new to SIUE means you've never taken classes at SIUE. Returning means you've taken classes at SIUE, but you're coming back to complete your degree. And then RN-to-BS is a different type of program. So we'll go ahead and hit New to SIUE, and then what you guys are going to want to select is Transfer Student. So Transfer Student includes students who have taken post-high school graduation college credit. So any college credit that you've taken after high school qualifies you as a transfer student. So for those of you who are in high school right now and taking dual credits, you guys aren't considered transfer students just because you haven't taken those courses out of high school. So you'll go ahead and select, and you'll see that it comes up with your transfer admission checklist. So these are going to be the items that you need to submit in order for your application to be complete. And then also along here, it has the deadlines. So these are saying these are your deadlines to submit all of your items. So going through the checklist, we're going to notice that we need to submit a completed application. This will be when you do it online. And once you get to the payment page where it says $40 application fee, when you've submitted your application and you go to the payment page, that means that you have submitted a complete application. So then we also require a $40 application fee. We require official transcripts from all previous institutions. So that means that If you have gone to more than one college or university, we need transcripts from every school. We can't cross-reference transcripts. So if you say, let's say you went to Lewis and Clark Community College, but before that you went to SWIC, Southwestern Illinois College, we cannot take your credits from SWIC off of your Lewis and Clark transcripts. So they all have to be from separate transcripts. And then this is for students who have less than 30 credit hours. So if you have completed fewer than 30 hours, we also need your high school transcripts and your ACT or SAT composite scores, because that's how we're going to base your admission off of. If you have over those 30 hours, then you come down to here and you'll see that you need a completed application, a $40 fee, and then finally just your official college transcripts from all your previous institutions. Okay? So over here you can see the deadlines. Now for fall 2017, the priority application deadline is December 1st. It doesn't have the priority deadline on here. These are just your final application deadlines. So you can see for fall 2017, it's 4 weeks before school starts. So we're going to be starting school August 21st. Your deadline is July 21st. But if you want to be considered for any institutional scholarships, you have to submit your application to SIUE and all of these documents by December 1st. That is priority. Okay? And then you scroll down, you select which option you have. So I'll be attending SIUE with 30 or more semester hours, fewer than 30 semester hours, whichever. And then you fill out your application. Okay? So next thing I want to talk to you guys about is the actual transfer process. And transferring to SIUE will hopefully be a seamless process for you, especially if you learn to use our website. So SIUE's website, to get to the transfer website, you just go to the general homepage, siue.edu. You'll go to admissions. You'll go down to transfer. And then this brings you to the transfer website. So on here you can see that there is admission information, which talks about when to apply and the specific dates that you'll want to do so. Then we go back. The programs that we offer. So these are all of SIUE's academic programs. So if you're wanting to transfer and wanting to learn more about the majors that we offer, they're all listed right in here. So you can go and peruse the website for those specific majors. Transfer credit I'm going to come back to because that's kind of a beast and we all want to learn how to navigate our transfer credit. So I'll come back to that. Our visit opportunities specific for transfer students will be found on our website. If you can click here, you can register for a visit opportunity, and this will take you to a variety of different options. So you can register for a daily campus tour. Those run Mondays and Fridays, 9:30, 11:30, and 1:30. And then Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, we offer them at 9:30 and 1:30. It says 11:30 right there, but it's supposed to be 1:30. And then Saturdays, we do offer some Saturdays, 10 a.m. So the next thing that you're going to see is the transfer visit day. And the transfer visit days are going to be great visit days for you guys to come because you're going to learn all about the transfer process. And you'll also get to see our upperclassmen housing options, Cougar Village and Evergreen Hall. So for these days, you'll just want to make sure that if you're interested in registering, you can bring us a copy of your transcripts and we can take a look at them at the transfer visit day and kind of give you a really good idea of what classes will be transferring. But you'll get to talk to financial aid, housing, and admissions about transferring to SIUE. And you can see there are 2 different dates offered for those in the fall. If you can't make either of those dates, we also offer preview days. And preview days are just going to be bigger visit days that allow us to accommodate more students. And you get to see, again, a campus tour. You'll get to talk to faculty members in different majors and different offices such as housing and financial aid. And these are some of our bigger visit days. And then finally, the Explore Days. So the Explore Days are going to be something that's going to be really good for students who are for sure about what they want to major in, and they're probably looking at going into one of these specialized fields. So pharmacy, nursing, education, health and human behavior, arts and sciences, business, and engineering. So these are just going to be really good days where you're going to learn more specific information about all of those majors. And then we also have a summer visit day. And then you can see here another link to the Google Hangouts page so you guys are already here. And then if you can't make it to a campus tour, you can do one of our virtual tours on here as well. Okay, so back to the transfer page. I don't even remember where that went. right here. Back to the transfer page. So the next thing that we have is orientation and advisement. Now, one thing SIUE does not require for their transfer students is an orientation program. So we have an orientation program for our incoming freshmen, but we do not have one for our transfer students. So you guys get an online orientation. And this one I'm showing you is eTracks. It's called it's SIUE's online orientation. And so you can go through these modules and kind of learn a little bit more about SIUE and what we will be able to offer you as a student here. And then you'll also want to set up your academic advising appointments. So once you guys are admitted, you actually can meet with an academic advisor and talk to them about which of your classes transferred and how to register for your classes. And so you actually, first time you make your appointments, you can just call academic advising and they can get you set up with an appointment. But regular current students of SIUE, they actually set their advising appointments up on Starfish. So it's right here. You can select Starfish by Hobson's, and that's where you register. So you can see my information is already populated in there because I am a student. So this is how you register, and it's just type of student. You just go and they talk to you about how to do your transferring. Okay, so I'm going to go back to that main page where I got on here. And we'll go to transfer. And so now I'm going to talk to you about transfer credit, and this can sometimes be the most confusing thing for a student. So to see how your courses will transfer. Now, typically we can talk to you guys about which classes will transfer, but if it's a bigger transcript with usually over 30 credit hours, we ask that you apply first just because that's a lot of credits and we want to make sure that you get an accurate evaluation. So if you apply to SIUE, when you apply, you'll be able to get your credits evaluated. And so there's no commitment, in applying. You can just apply, and our transfer center will do the evaluations on your credits to make sure that what you have will transfer. So how will my courses transfer? You click on that, and you'll go to the course equivalency guide. Some students use Transferology, but I always try to recommend our course equivalency guide because this is populated from all the transfer students that have came to SIUE before you. So you click on that, and then this is how you navigate your transfer credit. So we'll do an example here. We'll go to, let's say we'll go to Lewis and Clark Community College. So that's in Illinois. We'll go and we'll find Lewis and Clark Community College. And then let's say you took a biology class and you want to see how that's going to transfer. So first, it's important that you know the subject title so that you can better navigate. We'll go ahead and click on biologies. Some students select attributes, but I always tell the students to leave the attributes on all and then hit submit. And so this will bring up the list of all of the courses that Lewis and Clark offers on the left to all of the courses that SIUE offers on the right. So you can see if you're a transfer student from Lewis and Clark taking Biology 131, you can see there it's a 4 credit hour class. And then if you go over here, it's considered SIUE Bio 150, Intro to Biological Sciences, and it is also a 4-hour class. And then if you're at Lewis and Clark, you can see that that also counts for Bio 151. So right here, you'll need both of those. Now, if you go down to Bio or Biology 111, you can see this course is actually not accepted at SIUE. So that's one way to tell. Now, let's say you're taking a course and you can't find it on the course equivalency guide. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that it will not transfer to SIUE. That just means that no student has ever tried to transfer it here. So if you don't see a course on here that you're taking, I would just encourage you to apply, and we may have to do a little bit of digging through our transfer center to make sure that that course will transfer to SIUE. So that's just kind of how you search that. And then if you want to go back and look at something new, you hit New Query. And let's see about an English class. So we'll go down to English. We'll hit Submit. And you can see that they're here. So if it looks kind of funny, just make sure that over here on the right-hand side, you start with 1 through 15. Because this website kind of keeps you where you were when you ended your last search. So just make sure that you go back. So you can see here that these courses, vocabulary improvement, these are not accepted. This one, English 125 Basic Writing, this comes in as an academic development class comes in at AD 092, Basic Writing 2. So AD classes are actually not accepted for college credit, but they do transfer here. So you can see that it's 0 hours. However, we do still accept it just because that gets you guys in preparation to take your English Comp 10, English 101. Okay, so if you take first year English 131, that will transfer to SIUE as your English 101. And for students who are watching this who are maybe in some dual credits, this is going to be useful for you just because these will still apply. So if you're taking dual credit through Lewis and Clark at English 131, that will transfer to SIUE and fulfill your English 101 requirement. Okay, but again, as I said before, if you don't see one of your classes on here, that doesn't mean that it will not transfer to SIUE. That just means that no one's ever tried to transfer it. Okay, so we'll exit out of there. And the last thing I want to talk to you guys about, or maybe the second to last thing, is housing. So for our transfer students, we offer 2 different housing options. We have Cougar Village and we have Evergreen Hall. First one, I'll talk about Cougar Village. So Cougar Village is kind of our more independent feeling apartment. So it has 496 student apartments in 62 buildings, and they are set up in a variety of different ways. So they could have, 3-bedroom apartments, they could have 2-bedroom apartments. They are fully furnished, so you don't have to worry about buying any furnishings. But what students like to do is obviously bring televisions, they bring any decorative items that they want to bring, and then Cougar Village doesn't come with a microwave, toaster, coffee maker, or anything like that. So students bring that on their own as well. But you can just kind of look through this page, and it shows this room setup. So you can buy out a private room, you can have 2 shared bedrooms, you can have 1 private and 1 shared. So it really just kind of depends. And then it shows you the dimensions. So that is basically Cougar Village. We're going to look at Evergreen Hall now. So Evergreen Hall is essentially kind of like a residence hall. So it's all under one big building. So this is Evergreen Hall. You enter, you still swipe your ID card to get in the building just like you would a freshman hall, but then you go off into your apartments. So you go off and you have, a private bedroom apartment, and you can have a shared apartment. It just kind of depends on what you get whenever you go to Evergreen. So you can see the room layouts are right here. There's a suite with 4 private bedrooms, an apartment with 4 private bedrooms, an apartment, 2 private bedrooms, 2 shared, and then a studio apartment, which is just an apartment to yourself. Okay, so the cost for these, and then going back to the furnishings in Evergreen, those are also fully furnished, but students will bring their comfort items, their televisions, their decorations, things like that. So with Evergreen and Cougar, meal plans are optional for both, so you can see you don't have to get a meal plan. Now, not all Evergreen apartments come with kitchens, so you may want to be aware of that. If you don't have a kitchen in your apartment, you might want to consider getting a meal plan. But these are the different pricing options for Cougar Village and Evergreen Hall. You can see that Cougar Village is a little bit less expensive than Evergreen Hall, so it's kind of up to you on which you'd like to do. And then you can see the pricings go up depending on the privacy that you want in your room. So if you're going to have a shared bedroom, it's going to be $2,200 a semester. But then you go up to a private bedroom and it goes up $1,000. And then you want a deluxe bedroom that goes up $500 from the private. And then with Evergreen Hall, you can see a private apartment, so a whole private apartment. You can just see the different pricing options on here. So the studio apartment is the private apartment that I showed you. That's just your 1-bedroom apartment that you will be living on your own. Okay, and then you can see the different meal plan options right here. But other than that, there are no requirements to have a meal plan. Okay, and then one other item that I want to talk to you guys about is scholarships. So for our transfer students, what we do is we award scholarships in the fall only. So we do not award scholarships in the spring. And that's something important for you guys to keep in mind when you are considering the time to transfer. So the scholarships that we offer and that you guys will be eligible for is first starting with the Cougar Pride Scholarship. So this one is for transfer students who have at least a 3.0 GPA and at least 24 semester hours of transferable coursework. So this can be up to $16,000 over 4 years. Typically, students who qualify for this and who are accepted for the scholarship or selected for the scholarship do receive between maybe $3,000 to $4,000 per year with this scholarship. But it is all dependent on the GPA and the hours that you have. And our transfer students are fairly competitive, so that's why we really encourage students to apply early and make sure that they fit the criteria. Next one, the Janetta Haley Scholarship, and this one is up to $8,000 over 4 years. It has the same criteria as the Cougar Pride, being a 3.0 GPA and 24 semester hours. However, this scholarship is designed to support underrepresented students, so maybe a female going into engineering or a male going into nursing, or maybe if it was a racially or ethnically underrepresented student, they would qualify for this scholarship as well. Now, with the Cougar Pride and Janetta Haley, there is no separate application. So your application for admission is your application for the scholarship. So you don't have to worry about sending in a separate app. And then the final scholarship that we give for transfer students is called the Phi Theta Kappa. And this is for students who have at least a 3.5 GPA, at least 24 transferring hours, and they have to be a member of the Phi Theta Kappa Academic Honor Society. This one is a one-time award of $2,000 and is for students, again, who enter in the fall term only. Okay, and then for those of you who are out of state looking at transferring to SIUE, we have different tuition rates. So these aren't technically scholarships, they're tuition rates. So the first one is considered a high achiever. Now let me backtrack a little bit. Students who are residents of Arkansas, Indiana, Iowa, Kentucky, Missouri, Tennessee, and Wisconsin, as well as children, grandchildren, siblings, stepchildren of SIUE alumni, do get in-state tuition already. So if you're sitting there, you know, over in St. Louis and you're talking about getting in-state, you already have it. So you don't have to pay attention to this part right now. But for those of you who are looking at transferring to SIUE from outside these states, then you'll want to pay attention to these different options. So the first one is the High Achievers Scholarship. And this one is for transfer students with at least a 3.5 GPA and 24 semester hours transferring. And then this basically takes you down to in-state tuition. So again, it's not a scholarship, it just takes you down to the in-state tuition rate. The Geographic Enhancement Opportunity, called the GEO, this is for transfer students who have at least a 3.0 GPA and 24 semester hours. Now it doesn't take them down to full tuition, full in-state tuition, but it does take them down to a 1.2 tuition rate. So it's a little bit above what we consider our transfer students out of state to pay. Okay? Now you may be wondering what those costs are. And those costs can be found on our website. If you go to SIUE, I like to type in paying for college, or no, I'm sorry, cost of attendance. Okay, hit search, and you'll go here. And this will tell you all the costs of attendance. So these prices reflect our 2016-2017 academic school year. So you can see the tuition that the students are paying now reflects 15 semester hours, 2 semesters, and that's $8,352. So this is going to be your yearly cost, guys. This is going to be really, really affordable for a 4-year institution, and hopefully since you guys are transferring, you won't have to spend 4 years here. Fees, $2,655. Those are going to include your textbooks, so you don't have to worry about paying for textbooks whenever you come to SIUE. The only time you'll have to pay for textbooks is if you are in a sciences field and you have to pay for a lab book or a workbook or something like that. Okay? And then room and board, these are freshman numbers, guys. So the cost page that I showed you earlier, this is where, oops, wrong one. That's where you're going to see how much it's going to cost to live on campus. So this $9,200, that actually reflects freshman numbers, not upperclassmen. So if you guys are considering living off campus, you can actually just disregard this $9,000 and just keep it at the $2,000 and the $8,000, and it'll be a little over $11,000 per year if you live off campus. Okay? So that's all I have for you guys. Let me go ahead and switch back and post some links on here for you real quick. So first one I'm going to post is the cost. And this will show you again where the cost links are. The scholarship page is the next one I'm going to post. Okay. And then the general admission page. Well, no, I already posted that, so we're not going to post that one again. How will my courses transfer? This is definitely very important for you guys to utilize. Okay. And then we'll go and give you guys the housing options page as well, so you can see the different housing options that we have. Okay. Now, if there's anything else that you guys would like for us to do, please just let us know. We can do different videos on different things and teach you guys more about how to transfer. But I really think that SIUE's transfer process is very good, and it helps you guys learn to really take hold of the credits that you have and learn how to manage them and learn what counts for what, so that whenever you guys go in for your advising appointments, you're more prepared and you have a really good idea of what classes you've already taken and how those will play into your degree when you get here at SIUE. So I hope you guys learned a lot from this video. If you have any questions, I'll go ahead and put my email in the chat as well. That way you can email me with any questions, my name, my email, and my phone number. I hope you guys can see this. I've never done one of these videos before, so if I'm just typing all this and all this is gone by the time you watch this video, just let us know in the comments. Hopefully we can get something figured out for you guys. But that's all I have. I wish you guys the best of luck in your transfer process. And again, if you have any questions, our office is open 8 to 4:30 Monday through Friday, and then we're also open some Saturdays as well. So you guys have a wonderful rest of your evening, and I hope you guys apply to SIUE soon.